I think we all agree that we want these criminals eradicated. I think as a country we have to decide if it's by any means necessary. JA lovers, welcome back to the channel. I thank you for checking out this video. I hope you subscribe to my channel and continue on this journey with me as I look to report on news coming out of Jamaica and any issues connecting to Jamaica as we look to kind of be a part of the solution to making our country better for all our citizens. And so, folks may have seen recently in the news that there was a quadruple murder down in Westmoreland, and 4 members of a family were killed. And, I hadn't reported on that story because I'm not particularly a fan of the gore and the horrible stories. I mean, it's just depressing for me to see when some of these things happen. However, with this latest development in this case where a suspect in the quadruple murder was killed by cops, I wanted to report on and talk about some of the specifics around what happened here. So before I even go any further, let's stick a pin here. What the heck is going on in Westmoreland? Like, for real, for real. I mean, my goodness. Every other week or every week you hear of some terrible murder, scamming, some terrible things happening in that parish. And I remember growing up in an adjacent parish. I grew up in St. Elizabeth, and I don't remember here in Westmoreland being that bad, right? My connections with Westmoreland were thinking of, Negril, the beaches, White House, thinking of, buying shrimp and fish at border. None of these terrible crimes and criminal activities. I don't know what has happened in recent times, and I don't know if it's because of the increased action against criminals in St. James and Montego Bay, where a lot of these criminals have now moved over into Westmoreland and are perpetrating these horrible crimes. However, there is something that I think going on here, that the entire community of Westmoreland Parish, all the communities within Westmoreland Parish, are going to have to stand up against these criminals in conjunction with the security forces, because clearly somebody has to know something about what's going on here. People within the community, these criminals are embedded within the community. So therefore people have to be a part of the solution, because there's just something that's just outrageous and out of control in this parish. I remember even a few years ago, there was a story about an entire family that was, I think, shut up, and the house was burnt down with them inside. Just disaster. I mean, come on now. People have got to do better. We can't have this continuing to run rampant in this parish. But that aside, let's talk about this incident here and the part of it that I'm particularly interested in. So like I said, these folks had been killed recently, and the police were on a manhunt for these wanted men, right? So they came into the community and they came under heavy gunfire from a group of men as they approached the premises, right? And so it says here that the gunfire was returned, and this guy was found with gunshot wounds, to which he eventually succumbed, right? And then a firearm was also recovered from the scene, right? And all of this, it is countered with the term allegedly. So this is what the police are reporting as having happened, right? Now, the part of the story that I'm particularly interested in talking about here is where Indecom now comes into the picture, right? So Indecom is Independent Commission of Investigation, which is essentially a watchdog group, right? Which is there to ensure that the police are operating within their judicial boundaries, right? And I know this is a sore topic for a lot of Jamaicans, right? They question Indecom and its intent, right? Sometimes they feel as though Indecom is protecting criminals. And I will say that, watchdog groups like Indecom do have a place in a civilized society, right? Where we have to ensure that the police are acting within their boundaries, because remember, police are not perfect, right? They are capable of acting immorally and illegally. And we have seen that happen even here in the US, where there are cops who are rogue cops who do things that are not necessarily within the boundaries of the law, right? And so the idea within a civilized society is that, you commit or are accused of a crime, and you are supposed to be hauled in by the cops, and you're supposed to be charged, right? And you're supposed to be given the opportunity to get representation and go through the judicial process, right, where the charges are brought against you and you're given a chance to defend yourself, and in front of a jury of your peers, who then will make the judgment as to whether or not you're guilty or not guilty based on the evidence brought forward. And then after that, you are dealt with within the realms of the law, right? It is not okay for either the citizens of a community to get up and be vigilantes and kill anybody who is accused of a crime, because as you know, people have been falsely accused of crimes, right? And so that's why the process of law exists. And it's also not right for the security forces to come in and, you know, exact justice upon folks just because they have been accused of a crime. The process exists for a reason, right? However, when the police come in search of a wanted person, I'm not going to say a wanted criminal, but a wanted person, and they approach the premises and are met with gunfire, then at that point, I mean, anything you get, you deserve. Like, come on, you can't pull out gun and shoot up after police and expect them not to return fire. In that case, they are well within their right to return fire, and anybody who gets hit and dies, innocent kind of bystanders, you know, not being counted as a part of this. We're talking about people who are the gun-wielding criminals. If you end up getting shot, then to me, it's a clear-cut case here, you know. But, you know, I understand Indecom has to come in and just check everything out. At the same time, another disturbing part of the story to me is the fact that they came under heavy gunfire from a group of men. How large was this group of men? I mean, I think these are details that are relevant to the story. I mean, come on now. If you're reporting an entire picture. Because we're tired of hearing of stories where, you know, police returns fire at a group of men and they escape into nearby bushes, or escape on, you know, a motorcycle, or escape in a Toyota Corolla car. You know, like, come on now. There has to be some kind of expectation that when you come upon a group of men and they're shooting at you, right, there's some capture activity that happens for the rest of the men. They don't just get to run off into society and continue to be a menace to the rest of us. I mean, there has to be some more action taken here. I mean, I know, yeah, folks can run away and all that, but it just seems weird that people can come up on a group of men, fire on them. Well, yeah, one of them does get shot and killed, but the rest of them just get to run off into obscurity. So anyway, just wanted to kind of call out that piece. But to me, if this story is indeed true as told, where these men were firing upon the police, then it's a clear-cut case. I don't know what Indecom is going to find, but I mean, it seems pretty obvious to me. But nonetheless, I think regardless of the fact that, you know, there is this criminal activity that we're trying to address, we have to make sure that as a society, we're also addressing it within certain boundaries to protect us all as citizens. Because even though you may not be a criminal, right, if you're in a society where just being accused of being a criminal could result in your death, then that is problematic for all of us, right? And so that's just what I wanted to really call out here. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you for checking out this video. I hope you subscribe to my channel and stick around for more content like this. And until next time, take care of yourself, my friends. Hang up the phone.